So I've been asked what exactly my take is on the whole Q thing, and I'd be happy to share. I've been trying to share, but every time I post it to the Q researchers that have channels, they call me bad names. So I'm happy to hear people are interested in this. It's been something I've been writing about since April 11th. I've got about 7 articles that are up on my website right now that all deal with those, that explain it. And sadly, there's a lot to digest to get to what's actually happening. And so I may not be able to fit it all in this video. Here it goes, though. I need you to go back a little bit. This is an article I wrote on April 6th, and it's called Behold a Pale Horse's Ass. And it's basically explaining what Alex Jones is. We're under the impression that assets are these secret spies that have been recruited, and they have one set of priorities, but then they like internally, and then outside they lie and they say things they don't actually mean. That's not actually how it works. Your most valuable asset's going to be someone that's doing what you want them to do without them actually even knowing it. Assets are built. They're even procured or picked from a field. Instead of trying to engineer a 4-leaf clover, you could simply go out to your yard and look for one. And once you've detected one, you could nurture that 4-leaf clover because it's acting in the way that you want. This is the essence of narcissism. It's the essence of why we have a culture like we do. People are starving for attention, and they should be. All of our attention isn't inside of us right now. It's inside of our government. It's inside of our television stations. People need attention. Attention is awareness and belief. If someone's giving you attention, they believe you exist. They have awareness for who you are. This is a primal fuel. All of us need it to survive. When we create a culture, though, where we have a golden child and a scapegoat, and I'm talking about actors, and when I say actor, I really mean anyone who's in front of a camera. So when I say actor, Anderson Cooper is an actor. Wolf Blitzer is an actor. It's really confusing things for us to pretend like these are different roles. They're not. There's not one thing that changes about them. They all wear makeup. They're all given clothes by someone else to wear. They're given a uniform, a costume. They're all given a script, and they're told to say it. And the ones that say it in the most believable way are the ones that are paid the most. Anyone that you see on camera is an actor. But they're also inside of a role of golden child. All of our fame, all of our awareness, all of our attention is going to them. It's a select few group of people. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme of attention. Your attention is a life force. It's really important. We pretend like it's not, or society tries to downplay it, but it's actually the most important thing that there is. And these golden childs are only golden childs because we have scapegoats to prop them up. You and me are scapegoats. The regular working person is the scapegoat. All of our fame is poured into the golden child. Both of us are actually abused, believe it or not. It's hard for a scapegoat to see how a golden child is abused, and vice versa. But it's actually both are abused just in different ways. One's put on a pedestal, one's put on the pit. It creates a vortex, though, of energy, and all that energy pours from us into these celebrities, and it's siphoned. It's able to be pinched and misdirected. That ability to pinch and misdirect something is really the key to mind control. When you can create a few certain archetypal figures that will, it's sort of like taking a lawn dart and sticking it underneath a sheet on your bed. When you do that, you've created an umbrella, and underneath that umbrella, it's easier to assemble. So you can take an archetype and have him believe something that's so outrageous and so crazy that he ends up poking through higher than anyone else would. It creates this natural place for assembly. In NLP and in persuasion, this is called leading. Trump will come out and say, yeah, I believe that America's getting screwed too. I'm going to show you that I believe that more than all of you put together. And so by doing, I will become the tip of the spear. This is just simply how persuasion works. You see this every day in the office, in your family, in your community life. This is how you set a pace. When you have two tent poles, a blue one and a red one, you can actually lead an entire herd anywhere you want. Everyone's caught underneath the sheet. No one really understands what's happening outside of the tent. All they know is that the red tent has moved a little bit this way, so I should move that way too if I want to feel accepted, if I want to find it easier to have shelter here. Same with blue. That's called the Hegelian dialectic. The reason why I'm saying these things is because you have to understand what Alex Jones is. He is one of many that's been chosen as this sort of misdirection. Here are two more. Scott Adams, wonderful cartoonist, and Lionel, I don't think he gives us his real name, media reporter out of Miami. Scott Adams came out very strongly anti-Q, and that was on August 3rd, 2018. He's meeting with the president in the White House. Now, 3 weeks later, on August 24th, Lionel Media is in the White House doing the same thing. One's on one side, one's on the other side. These are the two tents that you can use to steer or move a population. This date, August 8th of last year, was also a very key date because that's when, let me pull this up to make sure I don't tell you guys something wrong. On August 8th is when Steve Bannon went to visit Epstein at his New York mansion. The following week, from Scott Adams in between, Steve Bannon is visiting Jeffrey Epstein in his mansion before dawn. These 10 weeks later, actually, I'll show you that. Actually, we're going to get to Bannon in a second. I need you to understand the Hegelian dialectic. This is the concept of black male and white male. The idea is that you can generate any kind of sentiment you want. You can have a thesis and an antithesis, and the end result is you will have a synthesis. You will have a new thesis that you can work on. Now that new thesis, you can then introduce another antithesis and come up with a new synthesis or a new thesis. This is a never-ending process. It's how we pay 45% of our resources in taxes right now to DC, but in 1913 we weren't paying anything at all. This is how you slowly move a herd of population, a herd that has amnesia. Another one of these leaders is Julian Assange. Now, this is going to bother a lot of you guys because you really want to think of him as a leader, as an archetypal thought leader of truth. And he is. It's important to draw power from our archetypes. But you need to understand that you don't get to be arrested from an embassy and be allowed to clutch a book for the cameras as you walk. Nor do you have a cop that's making sure he's out of the way for the picture. Okay? These people aren't spotted. Just like we say Ghislaine Maxwell was spotted. She wasn't spotted. She took a selfie in public with a prop, and it was published. This is a selfie, okay? This is a selfie of an archetype. If the cabal really wanted to get Julian Assange, I guarantee you they could find some way to penetrate the walls of an embassy building to kill someone. Remember, these are the same people that we believe have energy weapons, that are willing to vaccinate us, that are spraying our atmosphere. The same people that aren't telling us the truth about Antarctica. The same people that are lying about the space program. The same people that are doing the things they've been doing to us for centuries. It's absurd to think that there's no way that we could break in, that they wouldn't want to violate the embassy rules and kill someone that held all the secrets. There's just no way. I know we want to believe that, but it's not true. I want to tell you something Julian Assange said. This is really important. This is a direct quote. I'm constantly annoyed that people are distracted by false conspiracies such as 9/11. Julian Assange is not here to tell you the truth. He's here to expose the next narrative. He's here to expose the next tentpole. We can't expect psychopaths to be putting themselves in jail. That's called magical thinking. It's not something that's going to get us very far at all. I know it's easier to believe this stuff. I know it's easier to believe in the superhero nature of an anonymous letter or the sudden magnanimous spirit of someone like Trump. I'm not even saying Trump is bad. I think the fact that Trump has a really big ego is kind of a good thing. It increases his chances of trying to do something right. But Trump would never have been elected without Israel. There's no way he would have ever been in power. This idea that he was an underdog, that 98% of everyone predicted he wouldn't win, that's how you create an underdog. That's how you create a golden boy. That's how you create this idea that someone did something amazing and miraculous. Therefore, maybe he's divinely inspired. Maybe there's something to this guy. Maybe the miracle is happening. The David versus the Goliath is unfolding right in front of us. Maybe he's some sort of King Cyrus leading us into the second coming. This is how you lead people, through beliefs. You place food out there that you know they want, and they slowly come to it. It's important to understand just how bad it was, even a few years ago. Osama Bin Laden was a high-value target by the US and by Israel, including Mossad. He was a target in the United States since about 1990, if not before. A high-value target, one of the top 10. In 1997, Osama bin Laden gave CNN a live television interview. In 1998, Osama bin Laden gave ABC a live television interview. In 1999, he did another live television interview with Time. This is right before 9/11. He was already a high-value target. Again, it's more magical thinking to assume that the media and the government somehow aren't aware of each other or aren't colluding with each other, or that the military wouldn't tell the media the very first time, that the very first interview, hey, we want that guy. That guy's going to kill a lot of people. You have to let go of the belief that government is here to protect you. Government's here to rule you, not protect you. To rule you, they need to use mind control. They're going to have to lie to you to make this happen. It's just simply the only way to get the job done. I remind you that 250 million people are choosing either red or blue every 4 years. There's no way you could ever maintain that system without doing some serious lying. The only way it's going to happen is through mass manipulation.